Welcome. My name is Isla Jean Babcock, and I'm a yoga instructor in Wisconsin Rapids. We're going to do a gentle type of yoga today, something for restorative and relaxation. So everybody lie down on your backs, and you can put your feet on the floor, widen them enough so that they're to the outside of the mat, and your knees fall together. So I want your knees to drop together, and I want this to be comfortable for your low back. So we're going to work on what's called a three-part breath. So I want you to draw your breath into the belly, so the belly rises, into the rib cage, and into the chest. Pausing briefly, and exhale chest, ribs, and belly. So we're going to not force this breath. We're going to make it a little longer than our normal breath, and we're going to make it slower than the normal breath. I want you to relax your jaw, relax the whole body, and allow the body to rest heavy on the floor as we just breathe. So, in yoga, we want to first and foremost learn how to relax by softening the jaw, softening the face, the shoulders, the hips, the legs. As we inhale into the belly, ribs, chest, and exhale chest, ribs, and belly, letting that belly fall towards the back of the body. So I'd like to read a little quote for you to keep in mind. There is no greater safeguard in yoga than sensitive, honest awareness. To push yourself beyond your limits will reduce and not expand them. Rather, bring yourself gently to your current limit and stay there a while. Then your limits will naturally and easily expand. All right, so roll to your right side and use your hands to push yourself up. Coming up nice and slowly. We're going to start with a few neck stretches. So take your left hand out to the side on the floor. We'll drop our right ear towards our right shoulder, but we're going to reach through the crown of the head. So you're not trying to force your ear down. You're trying to lengthen the left side of the neck. The head is going the opposite way of the arm. Soften the jaw and breathe. And don't force the neck again. Just go to your edge and then just stay there. There should never be anything in yoga that's painful. If something is painful, you need to stop immediately and either try the pose a different way or not at all. Bring the head back to center. We're going to look down at an angle towards our right armpit. We're focusing on the back left side of the neck. So shift the hand behind you a little and reach gently through the crown of the head again, trying to find some length in that back left side of the neck. Keep the jaw soft and the breath even and easy. Slowly bring the head back to center, bring the hand back to the lap. We'll drop our chin towards our chest, letting the head fall forward. Bring your head back to center. Look down towards your left armpit. Shift your right hand behind you. Find that back right side of the neck, again between the shoulder and the spine. And then slowly the head comes back to center. We're going to reach the arm out to the right, dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. Left shoulder falls away from the ears. The length is in the right side of the neck through the crown of the head. If you find it hard to sit in a cross-legged position, you can put your legs straight out in front of you. You can put some cushion underneath the buttocks. in order to lift the hips up. Head comes back to center. All right, we're going to come onto our backs and do a release for the back of the body. So the arms are going to be alongside the body. The feet are pointing straight out from the hips. You're going to leave your buttocks on the floor and you're going to arch the low back up off the floor, trying to get a little space here in between the low back and the floor. Gently. And then press the back into the floor, lift the hips up and reach through the tops of the thighs, lengthening the back of the body. Inhaling, we drop the hips back to the floor. We inhale, we arch gently. And then exhale, flatten and lift. Drop the hips back to the floor. Inhale and arch slowly. Exhale, flatten and lift. Remember, only go to your edge. So you can move at your own pace. We'll do a few more of these, called pelvic tilts. Exhale, flatten and lift. Inhaling, arch the belly. So release that and hug your knees into your chest. And then rock a little bit side to side. Listen to your body. And do only what feels good. We're going to put the feet back on the floor. We're going to roll to our right side. Using the hands, we're going to push ourselves up. All right, we're going to slowly come to stand. Always engage the belly when you come to stand. We're going to do what's called the sun and the moon. We're going to step the feet wide. Feet are going to point out to the sides. You're going to take the feet wide enough so that when we begin to come into a squat, the knees don't go past the ankles. So you want the knees to stay behind the ankles, or it stresses the kneecap. All right, so we're going to take the arms and we're going to go palms up and we're going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling into what's called five-pointed star. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to sweep down, keeping the shoulders over the hips into a nice squat. Inhale up, reach. Breathe, exhale, come down, nice and easy. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squat. Inhale, reach. So try not to lean forward. Try to keep the shoulders back, the belly engaged. Only go as far as your knees will tolerate. Just a couple more, loosening up the shoulders, warming up the muscles. Inhale. And back to center. We'll come up. Going to do a nice side stretch, so we're going to put the feet hip distance apart. So when we bring the arms up overhead, we're going to turn the palms up, reach behind us, come all the way up, belly's fully engaged. Take one hand and then just a little bit of a tug and lean off to the right. You don't have to go real far. Don't hyperextend your knees. Back to center. Grab the other hand, reach. Back to center one more time. Take the hand, reach it up towards the ceiling. So we're not trying to drive ourselves down, we're trying to reach up and out. Back up, and last time for the other side. Reach into that shoulder, into the rib cage, and back up. Nice, release. So we're going to keep working on the shoulders. We're going to have you clasp your hands together and press the knuckles down towards the floor. So we're opening the chest because we're sitting at chairs behind desks. Keep your ears over the shoulders because the head's going to want to poke forward. We're going to bring that head back. Going to make sure there's a little bit of bend in the knees, belly's engaged. Okay, release that. Let's do a few shoulder rolls. So just bring those shoulders up and around. Breathe. And reverse. Nice. We're going to do a nice forward fold here. So make sure your feet again are hip distance apart. You widen the heels out a little bit so they're parallel to the outside edges of the mat. We're going to do a forward fold, and I want you to really engage your belly to support the back in the forward fold, and we're going to come down with a nice straight spine. So hands are on the hips, reaching to the crown of the head, spine is straight, little bit of bend in the knees. We're going to fold forward with that straight spine, and when we're as far as we can go, then we're going to allow the back to round, and we're going to let the body fall forward. Now, if this starts pulling too much in your low back, you can put your hands up on your thighs and support some of the weight with the back of the body on the tops of the thighs, or bend your knees more. That will release some of the pressure in the back. Let the head hang if you can. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed on the feet. Nice stretch in the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Even the back of the body is stretching here. Make sure that your head and neck are soft. You can shake your head yes and no gently. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs with your belly engaged, your spine straight again. We're going to come up with a nice straight spine. Breathe. All right, so we're going to come into mountain pose and then tree pose. It's a balancing pose. So it's easier to balance if you're not on the mat, back more on a harder floor. So in mountain pose, our feet are going to be hip distance apart. Lift your toes up, spread them wide, set them back on the floor, engage your calves, lift your kneecaps and engage your thighs. Draw the belly in, lengthen through the side waist, draw the shoulder blades gently to flatten on the back, and the arms can just hang at the side. Bring the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and hips over the ankles. Chin is going to be parallel to the floor or dropping a little bit. Now we're going to reach to the crown of the head and close the eyes. Softening the jaw, we're going to breathe. Mountain pose. Following the breath. So find ease in the pose. We're engaging a lot of muscles, but there's still some ease in the pose. No need to over-effort. Okay, release. We're going to do tree pose. So in tree pose, it's a balancing pose. It's all about keeping your eyes on a focal point. So find a place where you can keep your eyes focused, and you can either take your left leg and bring it alongside the right and keep your left toe on the floor. Hands in front in namaste, or either down at the sides, fingers pointing down, palms facing forward. You can bring that foot to the inside edge of this right leg. Try not to press on the knee, or you can bring it all the way up into the thigh. Again, engage the belly, draw the hips forward slightly, eyes on the focal point, breathe. People have a tendency to hold their breath in this pose because they're working hard at balancing. You need to keep breathing. And if you fall, just come back up into it. Now, if you're feeling really solid in the pose, you can sweep your arms way out to the side so they don't come in front of the face, can reach up overhead. You don't have to change the pose at all. You can stay with the hands in front in namaste, breathing. Release. Shake out the arms. All right, we're going to shift the weight to the left foot. Find your focal point. Then turn your right foot out to the side. The toe can either be on the floor, it can be at the inside edge of this left leg, or you can bring it all the way up into the thigh. Again, engaging the belly. Arms can stay out to the side, fingers pointing towards the floor, eyes on the focal point, breathing. Jaw soft. If you want to swing your arms up, you can. You don't have to. Release. Deep breath in, deep breath out. All right, we'll come back to our mats and do Warrior One. So with Warrior One, we're going to take our front foot straight out, straight away from us. We're going to take the back foot and turn it in quite a ways, so it's at least 60 degrees, and we're going to go with a heel to heel alignment. And now I want you to try to bring and square your hips forward. And I want you to bend your front knee over your front ankle. Don't get it past. If you get it past, it starts to stress the knee. So we have to keep that knee right over the top of the ankle. Keep some weight in the back leg. Soften into the back of the body. We're going to turn the palms up and we're going to reach the arms up overhead. So we're going to lengthen through the side body, lengthen through the crown of the head. Gentle back bend here, but keep your belly engaged just to support the back. Warrior One. You don't have to push back real far, and do not let the head drop way back. Keep that cervical spine in a nice alignment, just a soft curve there. Release. Step your left foot forward, your right foot back, heel to heel alignment, right foot at 60 degrees. If it's out to the side, your knee is going to point to the side. Hips are going to square forward. We're going to bend that front knee. Get it over that front ankle. Once we feel solid in the pose, then we can turn the palms up as we bring the arms overhead. Soften the back of the body, slightly engage the belly, reach to the crown of the head. If your ears will come between the arms, fine. If not, if your arms are out here and that's as far back as they go, that's good enough. Wherever you're at, your limit is where you need to be and need to stay, and just breathe into that. Keeping the jaw soft, the breath even and easy. And release. Come back to neutral here. We're going to come into one more standing pose. We'll do, let's do a triangle. So our right foot is going to go out to the side, our left foot is going to go back, and it's going to line up the front heel with the back arch this time. The toe doesn't have to come in as far on this foot. 45 degrees is fine. Legs are going to stay straight. We're going to try to face forward when we're in triangle, and I'm going to turn around only so that you can see me better. We're going to put our hand into this hip crease, left hand up on the hip. We're going to press into the left into this hip crease and lean off to the right. So I'm going to keep the spine perfectly straight. I'm not going to round down like this. I'm going to try to keep the torso over the top of this right leg, drawing this left hip back, drawing in the belly, reaching through the crown of the head. So try to lift your arches. It'll externally rotate your thighs. So draw the inside edges of the thighs up and out. Keep that belly really strong to support the spine. If you want, you can drop your left hand and reach up with your right. Drop your right hand, reach up with your left. Sorry. Inhale up. Going to turn the feet in the other direction. Left foot is going to go forward, right foot is back, heel to arch alignment. Again, we're squaring forward, externally rotating the thighs. This time the left hand goes in the left hip crease, the right hand up on the right hip, and we're going to push into the hip crease and just lean as far out over the top of this leg as we can. And if you're here, good enough. Don't try to move forward in the pose. It'll take your spine out of alignment. We just want to keep that spine straight. Keep that front knee straight without hyper extending it. Draw the right hip back. Externally rotate the thighs, lengthen to the side waist. Drop the left hand and reach with the right. Keep the belly supporting the back. Inhale and reach. So that's a tough pose. You really reach up with the right hand. You really have to keep the belly engaged to support the back. We're going to come down onto our backs here. We're going to hug those knees into the chest and rock a little bit side to side. Okay, bring the feet back to the floor. We're going to take this left ankle and put it on top of the right knee. Then we're going to take our left hand and put it between our legs. Then you're going to try to bring this right thigh up towards your chest, interlacing your fingers behind this right thigh. If you can't reach with your hands, grab a tie, a towel, anything to be able to draw that right thigh towards the chest. And we're going to soften into this pose. This is called a reclined pigeon or figure 4. So I want you to try to soften the torso, the shoulders, the face. And the only thing working here is the arms trying to draw that right thigh towards the chest. You'll feel a strong opening in the left hip. And everybody's level of flexibility is different. So do not compare yourself to your neighbors or what anyone else in the room is doing. Close your eyes, take your focus inward, and listen to your body. Okay, slowly release that all back to the floor. Put your feet on the floor, lift up your hips and set your spine down so it's nice and straight. This time the right ankle comes on top of the left knee. The right hand goes between the legs and the right and left hand meet behind the left thigh. We're going to draw this left thigh up towards the chest. And let's soften the body. Soften the back, soften the jaw. Now if this pulls too much in your knee, you can flex your foot by drawing your toes back towards the body. For some people that adjustment seems to make it easier. Others it's just easier to just hang out and relax in the pose. Soften your shoulders. Imagine that you can breathe in and out of that right hip. So you'll inhale and then exhale and try to soften the muscles of the right hip. All right, release that all back to the floor. We're just going to do an easy twist. So I want you to take your arms out to the side. Lift your hips up and shift them a little bit, just an inch or so to the left. And then I want you to drop both knees over to the right. And we'll create a small twist in the back of the body. And the head can fall to the left. If this twist doesn't feel good or it hurts, you can adjust your legs, taking them further apart, closer together. Extend the legs out. If none of these work, you can also take a blanket like this, and you can put a blanket underneath the legs as they fall to the side to support yourself in the twist. Be very gentle with the back of the body, especially with the lower spine. We don't want to force it anywhere that it doesn't want to go. Bring your top leg up first and then the bottom leg. So we're going to lift the hips up and shift them an inch or so to the right this time. And then we're going to drop the knees off to the left. And here again, if you find the twist is difficult, grab a cushion. Allow the legs to rest on the cushion. We just want to feel a stretch in the spine. The head can fall to the right. Close your eyes, take the focus inward, and release into the pose. Head comes back to center. Bring the knees up. Shift the hips, lift the hips, set them down so they're nice and straight. We're going to hug those knees into the chest one more time. Rocking a little bit side to side. And we're going to roll to our right side and we're going to push ourselves up. We're going to get ready for Shavasana, which is the final relaxation. So some people like to take a roll it up and put it underneath their knees to support the low back. Other people like to take a blanket and make a, this will create a small chest opener if you roll. You have to sit an inch or so behind the roll, and then you kind of roll your back up and over it. Sometimes that will take pressure off of the low back. Some people lie on their backs with their knees together. So you need to figure out what it is you can do to be comfortable for 10 minutes. It's nice to cover up with a blanket. It's nice to use an eye bag if you have one in order to cover your eyes and allow the body to release further inward. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And another deep breath in, and another deep breath out. And if any time during this final relaxation you're not comfortable, something starts to hurt, feel free to move. You can roll to your side, you can bend your knees, do whatever it takes to stay comfortable. So we're going to let the breath return to normal now. We're not going to force it. We're going to allow the breath to come and go. And I want you to start with your toes by relaxing your toes and the area between your toes. Relax the bottoms of your feet from the balls of your toes all the way down to your heels that now rest heavy on the floor. Relax the tops of the feet from the balls of the toes all the way down to the ankles. Release the ankles and let the feet drop away. Now notice your shins and relax your shins. Let any tension in the shins drift down and out the calves that are now resting heavy on the floor. Relax your knees, letting your kneecaps float above the legs and the backs of the knees rest heavy towards the floor. Now notice the tops of your thighs and relax the tops of your thighs. Any tension will drift down and out the backs of the thighs that are now resting so very heavy on the floor. Relax your groin, let it sink and soften towards the back of the body. Relax your hips, your hip joints relax, and the pelvis rests heavy towards the floor. Now relax your buttocks, let it soften and spread on the floor. Notice how heavy and soft your legs are, resting on the floor. Now notice your low back and release your low back. Any tension in the low back is drifting away. Relax your middle back. Allow it to be heavy and soft, resting on the floor. And now relax your upper back. Let the upper back become heavy and soft. The whole back of the body is released, letting go, resting on the floor. Now relax your belly, noticing the gentle rise and fall of the breath. The breath just comes and goes. Relax your internal organs. Everything beneath the belly sinks and softens towards the back of the body. Relax your ribs, and the muscles between your ribs relax, and the rib cage now sinks heavy towards the floor. Relax your lungs, noticing the lungs filling and collapsing with ease. And notice your heart gently beating in the chest, and relax your heart. Now relax your upper chest, let it sink and soften towards the back of the body as the upper chest releases towards the floor. The whole torso is heavy and soft. Now relax your shoulders, the front of the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, and the backs of the shoulders all rest heavy towards the floor. Now relax your fingers, notice them gently curving as we release the fingers and let go. Relax the roots of your hands, the roots of your thumbs, the palms of your hands, and the backs of your hands all rest heavy towards the floor. Relax your wrists, let your hands drift away. And now release your lower arms, let the lower arms rest heavy towards the floor. All the tension is drifting away. Relax your elbows and release your upper arms as the arms relax towards the floor. Now relax your neck from the front of the neck all the way through to the back of the neck. The neck is heavy and soft. Relax your jaw, let your mouth drop open slightly. Relax your tongue, it will feel plump in your mouth, and the back of the throat will feel hollow. Relax your cheeks, your sinuses, and your face drops heavy towards the floor. Relax your nose and let it sink into the face. And relax your eyes, picture them floating in the sockets. Relax your forehead so that the skin becomes smooth. And relax your temples so they fall inward. Now relax the top of your head, and any tension left releases towards the back of the head that is now resting so very heavy on the floor. Now imagine you've just stepped out onto a white sand beach. The sky is a brilliant blue and the sun is shining brightly. There are white clouds and birds in the distance, and there's a warm ocean breeze, and the ocean is a beautiful blue-green. Begin to move towards the water and notice how soft and warm the sand is underneath your feet and between your toes. And as you approach the water, notice the waves are coming in and out in time with your breath. The water is shallow and clear and amazingly warm like bath water. Step in, it's warm on your feet and your ankles, your shins and your calves, your knees and your thighs. Now sit back on a wave and allow the wave to rock you in time with your breath, in the warmth of the sun. There's nothing to do or undo. There's nothing to force. There's nothing to want. And there's nothing that's missing. Allow yourself this time to drift. You are wonderful beings, filled with light and love, perfect exactly as you are. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body. You can deepen your breath. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. You can gently rock your head side to side. And when you are ready, you can bend your knees and roll to your right side and stay there. And when you are ready, you can use both hands to push yourself up to seated, bringing your head up last as if it's very heavy. Find a comfortable seated position. And we're going to inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth 3 times. When you exhale, let everything go. May you be healthy. May you be joyful. May you be safe. May you be free. Namaste.